here to deliver lecture on energy management. So he has number of research scholars working under him in the field of smart grids, power electronic, converters, and many other field, and he has number of publications in international journals and conferences. And I just hand over the session to Dr. Tilak Thakur.
Very good morning to everybody. This energy management is one of the very demanding areas in every sector and by every people of the country, because we cannot live without energy. There is no option at all. So the things are such that we should limit our energy usage, and we should also find out the various ways and means to limit the or reduce the energy. So this is basically we will discuss in this session the energy management system, and objectives of energy management, and opportunities, and energy audit, and types of energy audit, and finally we'll come to how to establish an energy audit lab. That was our this energy lab is very much important. One of the energy lab has been established by me in Peck University of Technology of its own kind, having almost all equipments related to the energy audit. Now energy is the capacity, we know, as we get from the very beginning classes 6, 7 or so, we study the energy, and that it is the capacity of a physical system to perform work. And energy exists in several forms, like in a mechanical system, electrical system, fluidistic system, potential energy, kinetic energy, light energy, like this. So, and at the same time, we also go through the rules or the laws that we say that conservation of energy, that is total energy of a system remains constant. It is neither created nor destroyed. So this is the system where, however, the energy is being transformed from one form to another form. So one of the example is that suppose we have the billiards ball colliding together, then what we find that when it is going to collide, the sum of the energy transfer among the balls takes place, and we find that some of the balls comes at rest, however some are moving faster or though. That means what is happening? That means the energy is being transferred from one to another, and another one who is in a standstill, it comes in such a situation that its a movement of kinetic energy becomes almost zero. Now the types of energy, we have the mechanical energy, that is every day we are using, as well as in itself, that means, or even ourselves, we are having various types of mechanical work, and those mechanical works, however, they are controlled by our brain. So mechanical energy is that results from movement or from location of an object, or our movement is also like moving, doing something, so there is a movement of work. Now the thermal energy or the heat energy, that reflects temperature difference between two systems. So if there is a temperature difference between two bodies, then the heat transfer normally takes from higher to the lower temperature. Nuclear energy is also one of the very high energy capacity, that is you know that the uranium, plutonium, like this, so many things are very much in demand for power generation, for medical sciences, and etc. etc. And now the chemical energy, also the chemical reactions, we have the endothermic, exothermic, so where the energy is being released or absorbed. So again the and role of chemical energy is very important. And electromagnetic energy, it is in the form of light or some other forms. So this is now why energy efficiency and conservation is to be done or to be taken care of at all respect. That is because of the total global reserves of oils are not going to last for more than 30 or 40 years. That means the resources that we have, whether in the form of a solid like coal, or the liquid petroleum, or the gases, it is limited in nature. So when we are consuming, someday it will be finished. So we must just find something alternative which is available, free, or and as well as in abundant, and we should convert those energy for our the purposes which are solved using like solid, liquid, or gaseous energies that we are using from very uh, long years, past years. So because energy usage is directly related to greenhouse gases, that means most of the energy consumption or energy requirement or energy applications normally related to the heat, as well as uh, some kind of pollution or the exhaust, those create some environmental situation to the worst, like having this CO2, NO2, SO2 releases, like burning of coal, burning of diesel, burning of petrol. So that's also another way of degradation of the environmental as well as the health situation. So we should say, think something that is the newer and the healthy uh, alternative energy resources. So now we are going to concentrate, or we are also concentrating today. Most of the time we see in the Chandigarh also that we have large number of PV installed on the buildings, and other states are also moving towards it. That is the clean energy that in turns the saves some coal or oil. Similarly, we can go for the wind power. However, the wind power is not so much uh, of capacity in Chandigarh. However, in southern area, there is a huge application of wind power energy. So these two, solar as well as winds, are now the alternative energy that can be thought of, that in place of solid, liquid, and the gaseous uh, energy resources. Now the energy management, why energy management is required and how it is defined. The energy, this is basically the strategy for adjusting or optimizing the energy use. So using energy, we need several types of uh, strategy. Suppose in our houses, most of the time we are sitting in one room or working in one room. However, other rooms are also lighted, or the corridors are lighted, having no use at all. So this is basically the wastage of energy. So wherever some use is there, there should be the light. So to reduce the energy requirement per unit of output while holding constant and reducing total cost of the producing the output from this system. That means if you reduce our requirement, naturally the output to be produced from the source, whether it is thermal power, hydel power, nuclear, or whatever it may be, their requirements will be less, and there will be less degradation as well as the less consumption of the basic fuels like solid, liquid, or gases. So therefore, the energy management is basically confined to the situation where we should have to find the or plan some strategy and optimize the energy use. So what are the benefits of energy management? So first is the saving in terms of economics, in terms of environment, in terms of manpower, in terms of many more. So moreover, the maintenance are also fewer. Suppose we can see like solar power plant. It has less maintenance as compared to like thermal and etc. And reduced noise level. Noise is also considered as a pollution. So reduced noise. Suppose you can see the hydropower plant or the thermal power plant or the nuclear power plant. There a lot of noise is coming. So noise is also being reduced. That's a health point of view. That's a better thing. Again, indoor air quality. So air quality is also very much important because the pollution creates some health hazards, and those health hazards cause the various lives as well as the economic losses. And emission of in the airs like CO2, NO2 and SO2. Again, it is related to the health as well as consumption. Now, energy management systems. So what to do and how to do. So there are two things. One is technical, another one is non-technical, because the technical things, so technical people can understand in a nice way. However, the non-technical things can be also understood by non-technical person also. So first thing is that at the managerial level, that is the management requires certain kind of things like a policy, goal, target, resources. So those are the plans how to implement the energy requirement and its minimization of usage also. Now doing the things what to do, now we should impart the training, communication, control equipment, system, processes, and corrective checks. Corrective checks means suppose if these things has been implied, whether the improvement has taken place or not. Now the internal audits, that means it should be audited whether the earlier situation, the energy consumption, and the present situation, what is the advantage in the energy audit. And now the management review, the management should review the situation whether whatever has been done, it has been planned, it has been done, it has been checked, has been successfully implemented or not. So these are the managerial steps basically. And now, so we have the another technical point of view. So technical point of view, again it has the similar kind of points like plan, energy data management. That means if you have the past history of the energy data, energy use analysis, as well as the uh, energy generation analysis, as well as the fault analysis and its assessment, then we can plan in a better way that technically what to do. Suppose power factor. So if you get the power factor is more than the required, more than means the limited, that is the maximum power factor is say 1. So if it is less like 0.7, 0.6, that means it requires certain improvement through the capacitor bank or some other kind of load management kind of system. So that means we should have the data. So assessment is another thing very important. In while planning, we should do all this, the data analysis. Now doing what to do, energy purchasing, design, project and verification. Now purchasing, now what is happening, the energy is available from hydro, solar, nuclear and others, and their rates are varying. There are vendors now available, they are quoting their prices in advance. So energy purchasing is one of the important parameter. As per the demand, this can be set to an optimized price. Similarly, the design of the equipments and the system being used, it should be most efficient kind of things like switching, relays, motors, or whatever the other things may be. It should be a star rated or so. And the projects, some of the projects should be discussed as well as the implemented for the awareness among the people. That is also to be done. So unless and until people are taught something that if you are doing like this, suppose today LED bulb. So LED bulb is becoming most efficient use in place of the bulb or the tube light. So now it's a kind of a project. So now somewhere earlier you have seen certain some of the government's scheme that you bring your bulb and take the CFL. So similarly, this is a kind of project that you can make awareness among the people that of course if you are implementing or using this LED bulb, it will save the money, environment as well as many things. And its verification. Verification means its impact. So suppose for every quarter of the year, you can evaluate what had happened. So suppose you have implemented or distributed certain kind of things, this LED bulb or etc., and you now see within the selected areas you have distributed, then what has happened, whether they are using or not, if using, whether the energy consumption has reduced or not, like this. So this should be verified. Without verification, we cannot confirm that whether we are moving towards our goal or not. Check monitoring and management. Monitoring and management is also very much important, because monitoring is, again, technically we have to monitor the things as well as measure the things, because now the computer system or automatic intelligent systems are available. They can record all the data and the information, and that can be used for the future planning and the future action. Now the system performance, now you can judge for the overall system. So suppose initially we can plan for a small sector, and then you can spread in a wider areas for achieving the goal. So basically the energy management system basically requires the plan, do, check, and act. So this is a cyclic process. It's a cyclic process in terms of technical as well as the managerial, both way. That means one is technical, another one is the managerial kind of features. So this should be taken into care for energy management. So objectives of energy management: to achieve and maintain optimum energy procurement utilization throughout the organization, whatever, whether it is building, offices, or the industries. So every building, every houses, every industry should plan for the energy management, that how to achieve and maintain the optimal energy requirement through procurement, utilization, auditing, and data assessment, like this. To minimize energy costs, waste without affecting production and quality. That's also that an industry cannot have the shutdown type of characteristics at any cost, because that will uh, give the industry in a loss. So one should be kept in mind that the energy cost as well as waste without affecting production and the quality. So quality as well as the production should not be hampered. That means our household or the office building should not be hampered at any cost. It's a working, its output, apart from minimizing or optimizing the energy use analysis. Now minimize the environmental effect. So environmental is one of the very important. Today a lot of things has been done in these areas for the global warming as well as the pollution control. Recently in Delhi, we have been, the odd even formula has been, it is because of to reduce the air pollution as well as reduce the consumption of fuel. So it's a multi-targeted kind of the project where this has been taken into action. Now energy management objective clarified. The basic objective of any energy management system is to answer 5 simple operations, that how much energy is consumed, how is the energy consumed, how is the energy that is where is energy consumed, and when is energy consumed, and what is the quality of energy consumed. So these 5 things are very important. That means how much energy is consumed, that is a very good idea, that we have 7 days. So out of 7 days we have 24 hours in each day. Okay, so we can plan that as per our requirement. So out of 7 days, Saturday and Sunday is normally observed as holidays. So what is their planning? And rest of the Monday to Friday is the working days. So some of the things you will find naturally a change in the either the house or either in the official building or in the industry. So all these 3 sectors have a different consumption in this, as well as their time, and that is, you can understand like a load management curve, that within the 24 hours the energy demand is varying. However, somewhere it may be constant also. So we can plan our energy requirement, and you can say that how much energy is required at this moment. Now how is the energy consumed, that is also to be considered. That we find that somewhere out of the requirement that is posed by the houses or the industry, we find that some of the machines are running without any load. So that is the wastage of the energy. That means how the energy is being used. And somewhere you will find that the officer is out of the office, but still the peon is sitting in the office and running the AC without it. So this is how the energy is. So one, it should be kept into consideration. The energy should not be wasted without having any person in the room. Similarly, where is the energy consumed? Again, the where is energy is consumed, that is also important thing, that where is requirement? In a reading room requirement, or in a kitchen requirement, or in a playground requirement. So again, looking into the consideration of the requirement, where is and at what time it is. Suppose in the evening time. So in the evening time, if you keep certain things or all things on, then there will be uh, more requirement of the energy. So during this peak hour, it is not possible to cater all the consumers. So there should be plan that our kitchen should either go before this, or some playground should be lighted earlier or lower. So this should be thought of, a proper planning, or whether kettle should have light this much type, or the moving machine. So all this should be optimized in certain fashion, that the load demand curve should be matched. Now, when is the, again this has been covered already in the previous, that of where and when is the timing it is to be. Now the quality of energy consumed, that is very much important, because poor quality uh, energy, like having less power factor and more harmonics, they are basically producing the losses. So we must have a constant voltage and the constant frequency supply, so that our equipment should be less hampered in the quality, because the quality of power also affects the equipment that is being used. So these are the things, the 5 things should be kept in mind before uh, taking into consideration of the energy management objectives. So if you keep all these 5 things, a very close eye on various types of loads and the requirements and the number of days and the hours, certainly there will be improvement. And I feel personally that there is at least 5 to 30% of energy saving. Randomly I am saying that if you go, whether it is house, whether it is office, whether it is industry, you will find that this much of saving is achieved without any more investment. In order to address these queries, energy audits are conducted. Let us understand the energy audit. Now, for having details of such kind of 5 things, we can go through the energy audits, because energy audit is just a check and balance for the energy use, and or you can say energy input and the output, and it also says about the efficiency, that is what is happening. So we have the various kinds of energy management opportunities, like the basic requirement, now the energy management options, now insulation, now HVAC, lighting system, heating system, transformer, motors, air compressor, and etc., etc. So we have the various options, but to beat all those things, we should go for the energy auditing. Auditing means we have to check how much energy you are going to demand, how much you are going to consume, where you are going to consume, when you are going to consume, where you have the energy efficient devices or not, or is the devices installed in the houses are as per star rated or not. So many things are to be taken into care. So this is a few slides on this energy auditing. So the verification and monitoring of analysis of use of energy, including submission of technical report containing recommendations for improving energy efficiency with cost benefit analysis and action plan to reduce energy. This is basically a well-defined definition for energy auditing. Because energy auditing, what happens that there are 3 types of energy audit that we'll cover in the next slide. So most of the energy auditing recommendations. So suppose an energy auditor or energy manager give certain reports about a house, about a building or an industry. So what happens that those recommendations are being not implemented. That's the recently we have in September some um, workshop training by FICCI, and most of the energy auditor and the energy managers of the Chandigarh have been present there. So what this picture come into light that whatever the energy auditors or managers are reflecting in their reports, they are not implemented. So if not implemented, the whole thing becomes useless. Carrying out the energy auditing becomes useless. Now, why the need for energy audit? The things are like that the three top operating expenses are energy, that is electrical, thermal, labor, material. So these are three components of energy basically. So energy is in terms of labor, energy in terms of material, energy in terms of thermal, energy in terms of electrical. So energy would emerge at a top ranker for cost reduction. That means we have much opportunity of cost reduction in energy sector. Primary objective of energy audit is to determine ways to reduce the energy consumption as per unit of product out or lower operating cost. So basically energy audit gives a benchmark. Benchmark means suppose for reading, we have a reading room, a kitchen room, a lobby, etc. etc. So their lumen or lux requirement of light is different. If you are using more than that, that means we are wasting the energy. So we should also have certain benchmark, that is the reference point for managing the energy. So management of energy is again related to certain benchmark. So that should be kept in mind, that whether the proper, suppose working on certain lathe machine, so there should be proper light on the lathe machine while reading in a reading room. So there should be a perfect lighting arrangement. It should not be less or the more. So if it is less, again there is stress on the eye and the brain. Now the energy audit. So basically we have three types of energy audit: the preliminary energy audit, targeted energy audit, and the detailed energy audit. Now preliminary energy audit is just like a walkthrough. That means having a walk from one place to another place and having a lump sum type of observation that what is happening in this building or in the offices or the industry, and they keep into consideration that this, if you manage those things or improve those things, certainly your energy requirement will be improved. So basically the preliminary energy audit uses existing or easily obtained data and establishes the energy consumption in the organization. So getting the information regarding energy use, a scope for saving, certain points they find out where this is required. Now identifies the most likely areas for attention. That means they identify the place or the sector where the most attention should be paid. Now identifies immediate no loss, no cost or low cost improvement sets, that is the reference points. So reference point is very much easily set because there is a set table and you can measure immediately that what is the lux requirement, what is, and you can go to different rooms or different places and you can say yeah, here is more, here is less, like this. So identifies the areas for more detailed study and measure. That is also a part of the preliminary energy. That means suppose if you have to go for the detailed energy audit, that means you have to check each and every equipment, each and every devices to be checked whether the devices are properly rated or not, their energy efficiency is correct or not, like this. So that means they simply identify the area where the detailed energy audit is to be performed. Targeted energy audit, that means there is a targeted place or targeted equipment where this energy audit is implied. Suppose we have 5-6 sectors or 5-6 places, but we target certain points or the consumer says that I have this sector more consumption, you advise on this sector or this place that how to reduce. So this is a targeted kind of things. So targeted energy audits are mostly based upon the outcome of the preliminary energy audit. That means in the preliminary audit they identify the where the target should be made to further improve the energy use. They provide data and detailed analysis on a specified target projects. An example, an organization may target its lighting system, boiler system or compressed air system with a view to bring about energy saving. Now, in a sector, suppose every sector is there is a requirement of some lighting system, now heating system, cooling system. So they can say that I need the improvement in the heating system. So the energy auditor will only go for the heating requirement and its performance improvement and the energy use analysis. Similarly, they can go for the compressor. Yes, only go for the compressor. Suppose they may have some motors, so they can go for the motors. So this is the targeted one. So targeted audits therefore involves detailed survey of the targeted subject area with analysis of energy flow and costs associated to those target area, and the energy auditor or the manager can suggest the further improvement for reduced energy and the cost through its advice or through its recommendations. Now the detailed energy audit. So detailed energy audit evaluates all systems and the equipments which consume energy, and the audit comprises a detailed study on energy savings and the cost. That means a detailed energy is related to each and every equipment in the houses or in the offices, because suppose you have 10 PCs in an office, and you will find that some of the PCs are LCD based, some of the CRT based. So certainly this CRT based will consume more power. Okay. Now similarly you can thought of suppose 10 PCs. So they simply count that 10 PCs, that is 125 multiplied by 10. So this is not the correct one. One should go through proper measurement that how much energy is being consumed by making its operation individually. Then you will get that yes, this PC is consuming more power, either it should be removed or replaced by a new one, or some replacement of some parts, or some, like suppose replacement of CRT simply may save a lot of energy. So like this. So this is a detailed kind of energy. Now detailed energy is carried out in 3 phases. That is pre-audit, audit phase and post-audit. So pre-audit phase, before conducting the phase audit, basically certain documents are required. That is your past few years, like 2 or 3 years documents you need, like energy consumption, your billing and your maintenance, your faults. All such informations are required in advance, so that the energy auditor or the manager can make a target point where is the possibilities, and then the phase auditing required based on the available documents. So once certain problems is being uh, captured from the data available from the papers. So while conducting this detailed energy audit, certain documents are required. So documents should be provided uh, in advance before coming to the uh, phase audit. So after phase audit, the recommendation is being prepared by the energy auditor or the energy manager. So those energy auditor will make a certain recommendation regarding that the houses or the buildings or the industry. Thereafter, it is whether it is implemented or not. So after implementation, that is a post-audit phase. So post-audit phase comes after implementation. So just now I told you that most of the energy auditors reports are not being implemented. So once it is not implemented, then it is useless. That's the another problem, because the implementation requires certain amount of money, because it may require certain new equipments, replacements of sub equipment, and its payback period is also varying in days or months or even the year. So some of the companies have, I could not remember the name of the company, but I know that they are doing certain kind of things, that they take the problem and they say that you do not pay any money to me, but whatever the profit you are getting from the energy auditing and after the post auditing phase, you give the money from that one. Suppose your bill has been now 10,000 per month, and a company says that if you do or recommend, this recommendation is being implemented, your bill will be reduced up to 6,000 or so per month. Okay, but you have to invest about few lakhs, say 2 lakhs. So the person says that, oh, I have to invest 2 lakhs. So he or she doesn't go for investing 2 lakhs of rupees or 5 lakhs of rupees as per the uh, recommendation of the energy auditor. Then a company comes and says that, yes, I am investing 2 lakhs of rupees or 5 lakhs of rupees as per the recommendation, and the profit that you are getting, so present is your 10,000 per month. Now it has come to now 5,000 or 6,000. So there is saving of 4,000. So out of 4,000, you give me 2,000 every month, and this 2 lakhs will be recovered, and then you will be in benefit. This concept is now being used. But only thing is that the consumer has to agree that this is. So this kind of model is being also implemented. This is very interesting. No? Question which an energy auditor should ask. Now again, very funny kind of things. When I was doing some energy audit in Chandigarh, in one of the very big office, I asked the peon when this office is being opened. He told that at 8 a.m. When this office becoming operational, he said 9:30. Before that, all AC is going on, light is on, fan is on, like this. If you ask this question to the officer sitting in there, he will never say. So there are certain questions should be asked in a confidence manner to the person who is involved to make certain kind of savings. There is a huge saving like this. So here are certain points. However, there is a large number of questionnaires, about 50 questions or more than 50 questions, even 100 questions may be asked from the consumers to save their energy. So few of the questions I have been putting here. What function does this system serve? That's the question. That means for the system or for the equipment you are using or consuming the energy, you should also know that what function does this system serve. How does this system serve its function? What is the energy consumption of this system? What are the indications that this system is working properly? Okay, if this system is not working, how it can be restored to good working condition? How can the energy cost of this system be reduced? Unless and until we know the functioning of a system, it is very difficult to plan about the its energy consumption requirement and the savings and the benefits. So these are few questions only. However, there may be more than 50 or more than 100 questions depending upon different sectors like lighting system, heating system, or the person involved, or the labor involved, the officers involved, various meetings involved, like this. Suppose a meeting is going to be organized. So the hall is before an hour it is on in all respect. So if you stop such kind of things that you are wasting energy over an hour, there is a huge saving. So this should be planned, the how the function is or how a system is going on. Now to the energy lab. A very few places I have set up this lab of about more than 50 lakhs It is established in PEC in our Department of Electrical Engineering in the TEQ project, Technical Education Quality Improvement Program, funded by World Bank. So this lab is having various complicated and costly equipments for the study of energy use analysis, for energy auditing, for energy management, and for the research purposes. Our ME and PhD students are also using. So some of the instruments are shown here, like combustion analyzer. This combustion analyzer is, suppose if you think about thermal power plant, so coal is normally burned, and the coal is having CO2, CO, NO2, SO2. These are poisonous gases, and those are harmful to the environment. So the analysis of these gases, how much PPT, that is how much, hello, how much uh, pollution is being injected into the atmosphere. This is being analyzed by using this combustion analyzer. So it has various kinds of sensors. Through these sensors, they are uh, detecting the percentage. Now you have fuel efficiency monitor, that is calorific values of the common fuels are fed into the microprocessor or the computer system and calculates how much efficiency, because you know the coals are also available in various types. Okay, so some of the coals are giving more energy and some of the coals are not giving more energy. So again, the efficiency is a very important factor. So you can use the fuel efficiency monitor device. Now flue gas analyzer. This flue gas analyzer is again similar to the previous one. So this is also used for the measurement of CO, CO2, O2 or NO2 type of gases. So this is the picture of that. Now thermometer, that is basically infrared thermometer. This is widely used for most of the places for by mechanical engineer as well as the electrical engineer, because it can say you the temperature without contact. Suppose if a fan is running, you can simply see the temperature of the upper part of the fan, even the winding of the fan or the condenser of the fan, by simply focusing on this. And you have the image of that one as well as the temperature of that one without contact. You can know the uh, short circuiting. Suppose somewhere short circuiting is taking place or some spark is going to take place in the wiring that is covered. You cannot see from the naked eye. However, this IR thermal imager can see. You just simply expose to that, toward that direction, the image will come. Yes, there is a spark taking place and what is the temperature. That's a very good example of this device has been purchased by me, and this last month in the December this was demonstrated. This is a very good thermometer. So we have the thermometer also, a small kind of thermometer. So here is the thermometer as well as thermal imager also. So it can say you the temperature as well as its images that can be downloaded to your PC as well as your yeah. Now manometer. So air velocity and ducts can be measured by pitot tube, including manometer. Again, the air is also important. Somewhere air flow, somewhere water flow. Those are also to be. This is part of the energy. So should be measured using this manometer. This is water flow meter. That's the flow of water. Water is also so precious, like our electricity. So this flow of water is being measured through water flow meter. Now the speedometer. So we have the this tachometer type of things, or we can have also stroboscope kind of things also to measure the speed of certain moving parts like shaft of a motor. Okay, so depending upon the load speed curve, so we can know that whether the machine is giving you the perfect power delivery or not. Now the leak detector, that is the also used for compressed air or other gases, whether there is a leakage or not. So if there is a leakage in a compressor, so ultrasonic kind of instruments are being used. Now the lux meter, this is widely used for the purpose of determining the lux requirement in a specified place, like your reading place or a cricket ground. Huh?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So could you please explain the working of leakage meter as you showed in the earlier slide?
Yeah, this is ultrasonic instruments. Hello?
How do we measure the leakage? I mean, how do we apply this instrument to our compressor for checking its leakage? How do we like check it, or how is it working?
Yeah, actually, I do not have this kind of instrument. Instrument is not available with me, but I tell you that this is the device that is the energy, that is the leakage of either gas, okay, or air. Basically, it is used by a sensor, that is ultrasonic sensor. Okay, are you getting? And those
Yes, sir.
those ultrasonic sensors are signals are being amplified, and then it is being reflected in terms of the display. So this is the process of detecting the leakage in terms of air or in terms of gases. Okay, this is
Okay, sir.
basically creating certain kind of pressure, and this pressure is being converted into electrical signal. Okay, so
Okay,
more
sir.
is the
Thank you.
pressure, more is the display. More
And
is
and what about these probes that are coming out from the equipment? Could you please elaborate that as well?
no probe is having the sensor. No,
Okay.
probe has the sensor. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any more question?